So here's Senator John Kyle. And here's what he had to say about the people from Occupy Wall Street.
A lot of these folks who somehow think money grows on trees and they're entitled to it, and they don't understand how wealth is produced in this country.
Yeah, see, the Occupy Wall Street types don't know how to produce wealth. They think you work hard, save, and then you have a good life. These people are idiots living in a fantasy land known as the past.
Sure.
Okay?
They don't know you manipulate the market and then leverage what you've bet against while having your investors bet on the thing that you know is going to go down.
Yes, yes. What you're saying, Paul, is maybe a little bit of fraud. Is what you're saying.
What I'm saying, Jimmy, is let the bankers, they've got an Ivy League degree, let them bundle their derivatives in peace.
I'm with you.
The economy doesn't run on BO, Jimmy.
What does the economy run on?
Oil and the exploited labor of poor people.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that's right from Richard Martin. Okay, now here's Sean Hannity had a description.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this one.
Here's Sean Hannity's description of the Wall Street protesters.
What have we seen here? Violence, rape, arson, destruction of property, sex in public, masturbation in public, naked people, drugs, drug paraphernalia, anti-Americanism, anti-Semitism, anti-capitalism.
You know, Sean really makes it sound more fun than it really is. He really. I mean, is that his list of complaints about Occupy Wall Street, or just a list of stuff Sean jerked off to? Is there anything more disgusting than a bunch of dirty degenerates making a completely valid point? If there is, I can't think of anything.
Sounds like Burning Man to me.
It's like he's describing Burning Man. Yeah, he is.
Seeing that the police beat the Occupy Wall Street protesters has got to give the far right such a hard on, because here are people protesting for rights for working people being beaten by members of a union.
Yes.
It's like they don't even have to lift a finger. It's eating itself. It's like an M.C. Escher sketch,
Wow, that was a white way to lay it down, Paul. That was nice. I didn't even think of it like that. You're right. And here there are workers protesting, getting beaten by union workers.
Right.
Well, I just have a hard time, like my dad was a cop, my grandfather was a cop, my older brother who was a cop. I don't understand how the cops, as people go, it's just a few, they always like to go, it's just a few cops, most of the cops are good. Really? Are all the cops in New York on sick leave, all the good ones? Because I don't see any of are all the good cops at UC Davis on sick leave? Are all the good cops in Oakland and Seattle? Are they all on sick leave? How about when that cop in New York was pepper spraying those women, all the other good cops just stood there? Did nothing because they didn't want to lose their job. And that's not a valid reason. That's not a valid reason for using violence against peaceful protesters. I might lose my job.
Or might lose the house. I have to see the house first before I can say whether or not. Because if it's a really nice house, good clean lines, post and beam ceiling, I got to say go ahead and spray away.
Do you share
built-in kitchen?
Do you understand?
Shake it up before you spray it.
Breakfast nook. Do you share my? What I'm trying to say, Steve, about the cops? Because it's coast to coast, and it's like, wait a minute. You mean I thought the cops are supposed to be the good guys, and they're not. They're the bad guys.
Maybe they only use the bad cops for the beatings. Maybe they specifically, we're going to need some bad cops for this. Good cops, stand down. We're going to get some bad cops here to spray some ladies.
One thing I think everybody involved in this is a deep-rooted fear, and just each person's fear is about a different thing. The cops are afraid they're going to lose their jobs. The mayor is afraid he's going to lose control of the city. The protesters are afraid that this is never going to end, that they're going to have no future. And everybody's acting from that place of fear with no trust for each other.
And let me just show how easy it is to corrupt a cop. They'll mace pregnant women, 84-year-old ladies, college students. They'll mace them all. They'll beat them with batons over their heads just so they can hang on to their $70,000 a year job. Now, imagine if you were a drug dealer or a mafioso guy who wanted to bribe one of those guys. How easy would it be? Mm-hmm. Right? If you're willing to beat innocent people for $80,000 a year, wow, what else would you be willing to do for $70,000 or $80,000 a year? You'd be willing to do a lot of ugly stuff, wouldn't you? That's what I would think. All right, let's get back to the clips. So here's Newt Gingrich. Here's what he had to say about the Occupy Wall Street people, and it's really enlightened.
All of the Occupy movement starts with the premise that we all owe them everything. They take over a public park they didn't pay for, to go nearby to use bathrooms they didn't pay for, to beg for food from places they don't want to pay for, to obstruct those who are going to work to pay the taxes to sustain the bathrooms and to sustain the park. Now, that is a pretty good symptom of how much the left has collapsed as a moral system in this country, and why you need to reassert something as simple as saying to them, go get a job right after you take a bath.
And it's a nice cheer at the end too. So, you know, and
Was John Wayne also at the dais with him?
it's nice to see that for all his experience in Congress, Newt Gingrich has the same understanding of the economy as Herman Cain. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
For him to say that to the people unable to find employment in a depression, you know, a Wall Street lobbyist and crack up like Newt Gingrich says, get a job. Oh boy, Newt, that's a funny one, isn't it? Seeing that your job was making sure that the people who ruined the economy and rigged the game so that they received taxpayer-funded welfare when they went bankrupt and everyone else lost their jobs, houses, and retirement. Ha ha, hella funny, Newt. Really, not quite as hilarious as the time you punked your wife by serving her divorce papers in front of your kids in a hospital room where she was recovering from cancer surgery, but still is pretty funny.
He is a witty man.
He is witty. He doesn't. He never knows when to stop with the goofing and the shenanigans, right? He is funny. Yeah, and he just, you know, those people need to pick themselves up by their bootstraps, roll up their sleeves, and become lobbyists, just like Newt.
Yep, that's all it would take.
That's what else would you need? People are looking for jobs. They're protesting because they want jobs.
Right.
And Newt Gingrich says, get a job. Well, we were protesting for a job. Yeah, but why don't you get a job? I'm protesting what I want to get. And that's basically what I do on Facebook all day.
Yes. He's really, the only thing left for him to say is, I know you are, what am I? You know,
no kidding. Real kidding. All right, you know what? I'm going to get to, we got a little time here. So let's get to our next clip here. So you know they're in trouble when Bill O'Reilly, because all this is the Occupy Wall Street people are actually making an impact. They're having an effect on our consciousness. They're having an effect on the political dialogue. They're having an effect on the political process. They're having an effect in our society. And you can tell because if they weren't, they wouldn't care about them. And here's when you know they're really making an effect, because Bill O'Reilly says this about him.
So the Occupy Wall Street movement is dead, finished as a legitimate political force in this country. And that's a good thing.
Okay, so that's it. I guess it's all over.
And again, that is what is so valuable about Fox News, is any news outlet can tell you what happened. Fox is willing to tell you what they think is going to happen.
What it wants desperately to happen.
Always good journalism.
What they want to have happen.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. The police brutality, it is shocking, right? Does it shock you?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't shock me. It saddens me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by it. I did not expect it.
You thought it went out with the 60s and 70s?
I thought that once the cops saw video of themselves doing all that horrible stuff in the 60s, that made an impression.
Or Rodney King.
Rodney. Yeah, all that stuff. I thought, no, they're more than ever. More than ever. It's just, it's like, you know what? I think
it's
it is terrorism has made police forces become like these paramilitary forces.
Right.
They're no longer community policing. They're all out looking for Al Qaeda. So they're all somehow they all have to have a helmet, a riot gear on. They all has to be ready because anybody could be a terrorist. You know, that's what I think it is. It's like because the Department of Homeland Security actually says that peaceful protesting is to be considered a low level of terrorism.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can guarantee you in the next 10 years in this country, the most damage to be done to it will be by people that carry briefcases.
Yes, and it has been.
Not acoustic guitars and...
Yeah, you know, I've said it for for a couple of months now. It's the people with no money and no power. They're the ones who've been screwing things up.
Yeah.
If there was just a way that the people with money and power could insulate themselves from the powerless.
Yeah. But you know what they should be afraid of is that there's a growing number of people who have nothing to lose.
Yes.
And you can never win against people that have nothing to lose.
Never.